Hello, my name is Alan Ho from Da Vinci Science. I'll be trying to convince you to fund my experiment on colony collapse disorder. And basically what this is, it's a phenomenon in which the worker bees will actually flee the hive, leaving behind their nectar, their larvae, and even their queen bee. And why this is detrimental to us as a society is that when they die off and we lose a lot of our pollinators, you see this drop in the profits of the agricultural industry, which means in order to compensate, they have to raise the prices of food, and even then we still have food shortage problems because of this. So what other experiments have been trying to find out in order to find the potential causes all have some very big flaws to them. So a lot of them, if not all of them so far, are low on funds. So what they do is that they will only test out one or two potential causes, which isn't mimicking real life at all, because again, in real life there's several different causes going into effect here, and they're kind of ignoring a lot of variables in doing so. Additionally, they're working in a factory setting in which you don't get to see the actual events of colony collapse disorder play out, in which they leave the hive because again they don't have the hive in the laboratory, they just have the bees themselves, which is another problem. They're working with individual bees, and the issue with this is that when they're working with individual bees, they're giving them too big of a dosage, which wouldn't be close to real life at all, which means that wouldn't happen in real life at all, and obviously would not be the cause. So what the goal of our project is, and I guess all the other experiments, is to find out what is the cause for CCD. However, that's not exactly what we want to do. What we specifically want to do is make healthier and stronger bees, because what that means is that we have a more stable and healthy food industry, which means we don't have these kinds of waves of up and down profits and have food shortage problems that stem from just bees, which is a really not consistent thing that we have right now. So what our experiment does is that we have 3 different locations, so California, Texas, and South Dakota, and basically what we're doing here is that we are setting up these kinds of rooms where we were putting in a hive and a patch of flowers, and what we're trying to test here is that we're trying to test what could be a potential cause or what are hurting bees the most. So we're introducing several different kinds of variables like parasites, pathogens, and pesticides, and even with the different locations we're also taking into consideration climate and environmental changes or situations that happen throughout the year. So we have one main method of testing the health of the hives, which is smoking the hives and seeing kind of how many are dead or how many are looking ill in terms of their coloration. But specifically what we'll be testing is individual bees that will be pulling out, and some larvae too. So for parasite testing, we'll be discounting the parasites because they should be visible, and it shows kind of a correlation between how many parasites are within that one given hive from each worker bee and how many worker bees are in that hive which are dead, and additionally or have flown out and died, much like CCD. And we'll also be testing out pathogens, in which we'll be kind of dissolving their bodies in ethanol, including the larvae, and seeing how many pathogens are in this given area, and kind of have an idea of what the situation is with the pathogens, my mistake. And finally we'll be testing the pesticide, in which we'll be counting how many bees are actually dead. That's basically for pesticides, because it should be pretty obvious. Bye.